Hello, everyone. This is my port review of the city of Lisbon, Portugal. This was on my cruise with Celebrity Apex, and we had the day there. So our time there was from about 12:30 to 9:30 p.m. With these videos, I'm just going to tell you what I did. I'm not going to go through all the different possibilities you can do. I can just tell you what I did in the city. For Lisbon, it is a beautiful city, so I do recommend that you either go out to your balcony or go up to the upper decks. There's a lot of people up there. It's very, very scenic, and you get a really good view of the places that you are going to see in the city. There is some bridges that you go underneath, so that's kind of a really neat experience. This is one of those ports where almost everyone was out there on the decks when we were getting into the port. There's so much scenic excitement there, and you could see the town center. You could see some of the sites that we're going to go to, the Balem and Geronimus monastery. I took actually a free tour, walking tour, and I do this quite a bit on cities. I find these very good. They work on tips. There is no cost to them, but generally the guides are quite good. The actual tour agency is Tours of Our Life, and the guide was Rita, and she was excellent. It was a 3-hour tour. It started at 2:30, and so we had plenty of time to get off the ship. Everyone's excited to be on the pool deck, and we're going to go right under the bridges. You almost think when you're doing this that your ship is not going to be able to go under, but it does, just by a couple of feet. So it's kind of a neat experience. But going back to the tour, it is a bit of walking, but I thought it was a really beautiful day. We find now that these free walking tours are actually very good because they have a good mixture of some history, but also you get to see most of the sites, and you get a little bit of the feel of places. We went to have the Portuguese tarts. As you can see, just beautiful photos getting into the city. And it's a really great overview because a lot of these places, the city square, the monastery, we will come and visit during our time in Lisbon. Probably one of the most scenic times. A lot of cities that you're more away from the city, so you're more like in a port area. But when you get off the ship, cruise ship, you're really just walking towards the city center. So I think when we for our tour, we probably walked like 10 or 15 minutes just to our tourist site, the meetup place, and so it was very close and convenient. It's not hilly, it's kind of flatter. There is, although when we were doing our walking tour, we were going up quite an incline, so we walked quite a bit. And this is a beautiful picture from the water of the Praco de Comercio, which is one of the major plazas in Lisbon. Once we get on the ground, we get a different viewpoint, but it's really nice to kind of see that originally from the ship to give you an overlay of the lands. So we started our tour. The meeting place was Praca Luís de Camões. It's very easy to find through Google Maps. They have a black umbrella there, and I think they were running both a Spanish and a English tour. So we were there early. Easy to find place. It's kind of a little square. So that's where we started our tour. I found Lisbon very walkable. It is a bit of walking. It is a 3-hour walking tour, but for me, it was fine. I guess if you are mobilely challenged, yes, it might be a little bit of walking, but I enjoyed it. Again, it was a nice day. So the first things we did was look at the azulejos tiles, which is an iconic feature around Lisbon. These are blue and white ceramic tiles. You see them a lot of places in the Alfama and the Barro Alto district, and that's where we're walking towards. They date back from the Moorish influences in the 15th and 16th century, and so just beautiful and very iconic. Then we walk past the man sitting in Lisbon. This is a fairly famous bronze statue of a poet, Fernando Pessoa, and a lot of people like to kind of sit in the chair next to him and take pictures. It was crowded, and we were on a tour, so we couldn't, kind of stop to do that. But that's one of the sites that people like to kind of take in. Next, we visited, and this is in the Chiado region. This is the Livraria Bertrand bookstore, which is the world's oldest bookstore, and you can see that they've got something from the Guinness World Book of Records. It's kind of a nice, again, touristy site. Founded in 1732. This is the original store in the Chiado neighborhood. Next, we walk by the Guard Nacional Republic, which is the Portuguese military security force headquarters, located in the Carmel quarters. And just not really that significant. There's a museum there, but there was a couple of guards there, so that was kind of just nice. And they actually did a mini ceremony where they did change the guards there. It's just one person walking in and changing, but it's just, it was along the way, along the path, so it's a neat thing to see. Next one is the monument to Pedro the Fourth, which is near the Rocio Square. And so this is a very high up, like almost a 90-foot statue on top of Corinthian column. And it's a bronze statue of King Pedro the Fourth, who's holding a scroll. And right near there is a fountain of Rocio. So that's the South Fountain of Rocio in Lisbon, another kind of historic landmark, a nice place to take a picture. Next, we visited the San Justa lift. So this is a historic site and you can go on it. But personally, we just took a picture. You don't really need to. You can actually walk up to the top part. It's supposed to be made so that you can go up to the top part of Lisbon, but you can actually walk up yourself. And it's quite crowded. It's not that spectacular ride. It's very small. It's built in the 1800s, so it's quite a magnificent feat, but it's not actually that good looking. It just looks like a bunch of concrete. And then you can also walk up there, and once you're up there, you can actually take nice pictures of the actual elevator lift itself, although it doesn't really look that nice in pictures. Next, we stopped at a shop for pastel de nata, which is Portuguese custard tart, and this was included, so everyone got a free tart. A number of times that we talked to people, they kind of said that, you know, $10 is almost like a break even for the tour guide, because, you know, they don't get very much for this. So really, if you're $10, basically, I don't think the tour guide makes very much from that. I guess they have to pay the agency and things like that. So really, if you're really paying $10, 10 euros, they're just basically doing it for free for you. So if you're in fact giving them no tip, then that's even worse. They're actually in fact losing money, because I think they have to pay something to the agency to do these tours. So my recommendation is at least 20 euro per person, so that at least the tour guide gets $10 in their pocket, 10 euro in their pocket. So this was Nana Lisbo, and there's many of these type of shops in town, but this was really nice. It was a really good introduction to Portuguese custard tarts. The actual tart itself was very crispy and light. Then we walked to the Rue Augusta Arch, which is a iconic triumphant arch that serves like a ceremonial gateway to Lisbon, and it's spread into the Praça do Comércio. So it's built to commemorate the city's reconstruction following the 1755 earthquake. Just a magnificent plaza and a great place. You can actually climb up the arch and then have a unique view of the city. But we didn't do this on the tour, but it's just a magnificent structure. It's very beautiful. Short video of the Praça do Comércio. I believe it's one of the largest squares or plazas in Portugal, about 175 meters squared. And then you'll see a statue in the middle of it. It's the statue of King Jose I, and the king is on a horse that is symbolically crushing snakes on its path. Then we walked up to the Barrio Alto, which literally means the upper district. It is located on a hill overlooking the city center. Famous for its narrow cobbled streets, and at night it's got a very vibrant nightlife. But we were there in the daytime, and as you can see, the view from the top is wonderful. Short video of the Barrio Alto and overlooking the city center, and from there we could see our cruise ship, which is a really nice shot. After our tour, we took an Uber about 10 minutes to Pasteis de Balem, and this is an iconic bakery in Balem, and that's where the original Portuguese tart came from. It is near the Jeronimos monastery. They've been making these tarts since 1837, and they still follow the original recipe from the Monasterio de Jeronimos. It's a closely guarded secret how they make them, and they are known for being extremely crispy in terms of the actual tart. There's a slightly saltiness, and the filling is not that sweet, so it's kind of semi sweet. And I can attest that they are just magnificent. This is the gold standard if you're going to eat Portuguese tarts. Had a nice table there. That's another recommendation, that instead of, if you have some time, a lot of people are standing outside, and actually there's quite a bit of a lineup, but if you have some time, just get a seat inside. You'll I thought the lineup was less, and also it's kind of a nice thing to actually sit down and have the place. It's quite a big premises inside. You get a couple of these, you have a little coffee, and it's a very nice experience. Next, we walked over to the Geronimos Monastery, which was fairly close by. We did not go inside. Unfortunately, we didn't have enough time. I think it was getting to the end of the day, around 5 o'clock, somewhere around there. And so we did not have the time. I'm sure it's a wonderful place to visit, but no need to visit if you don't have the time. It's still quite a nice place to take some pictures. It is the former monastery of the Order of Saint Jerome. It's one of the best examples of late Portuguese Gothic Manuline style of architecture. I think it was erected in the 1500s, and so it's near the launch place of Vasco da Gama's first journey. Short video of the surroundings near the monastery. I believe there's only a certain place that you can get dropped off in the monastery. I don't think you can be dropped off like right in front. So sometimes when you're taking Uber, they will drop you off a little bit farther away. And then right near there is the monument to the fallen of the Great War. This is dedicated to the soldiers of the Portuguese army that died during the First World War. For getting pictures, you need to be quite far away from it because it's such a large monument. We did not go that close to it. We were close to the monastery, and that was sufficient to get some nice pictures of the actual monument. So then we went back on our ship. We were there in around May, and weather is like wonderful. It wasn't that busy, so it was a very nice season to go visit. All in all, wonderful port to visit. It is nice if you're back on board and you haven't left to just take a picture of the nightlife also. You could go and see the nightlife also. But we just wanted to go back on and eat dinner on board. A really nice, very, very scenic port. I liked it quite a bit, and definitely worthwhile to visit. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Until next time, safe travels.